Good morning, students. Welcome back to the next session of Artificial Intelligence. Well, in the last class, we have discussed the concepts of Unit 2 of Artificial Intelligence. So, today, like we have seen in the last class regarding search algorithm, search trees, and the properties of search algorithms. Also, we have seen the types of search algorithms, such as we have seen uninformed search, which is blind search, and informed search. Okay. In that, we have also seen search with open and closed list. That means in search algorithm, what is the role of open list and what is the role of closed list we have seen here. So that's why we have taken a generic search algorithm which accepts any sort of algorithm. So it's a generalized way of presenting the search algorithm. So with using this generic search algorithm, we have taken an example on, an example on random search, and by taking random search, how we have taken that how a random state works. So now today, as I said in the last class, that random search random search we have seen, and according to your syllabus we have DFS and BFS. So today we are going to discuss on DFS and BFS. Okay. So first we will see BFS, breadth first search. As you people are already aware of breadth first search and depth first search, that how this breadth first search and depth first search works in data structures we have seen. Now the same searching techniques we are also implementing in artificial intelligence. Remember, this BFS and DFS is an uninformed search, that means blind search. As I said you that blind search means it doesn't have any information on the cost of reaching to the goal state, but it uses a strategy in order to go to the next state. Okay. So the first thing is about breadth first search is that this breadth first search is called as level ordering. That means level by level the nodes of each level will be visited accordingly. That means here instead of expanding towards the depth of the tree, it will expand into the next level. Okay. So that's why it uses a technique of FIFO. Okay. So now we'll see that how this FIFO will works while taking the values, and while the that means first in first out, that means the first value which I have taken here, the node which I have taken here will be served first. Now before this we'll take an example here. For example, here if you see this is a tree where I'm implementing BFS. Okay. Now initially this is the node, okay, which I haven't explored right now, but now I'm going to explore the nodes here. So you can see here, it after A, what are the childs of A? The childs of A are either B and or C. But so it will go to the level. So now this is first example, if I am considering as level 1, now this is called as level 2. What is this called as level 2? Now level 2, what is the first node it is there? Is B. So it is moving towards B. Then for the same level 2, again what is the node? C. So it is moving towards C. Now there are no further nodes are available in the level 2, so it goes to the next level 3. In level 3, it has the first node is what? The node that is what? D here. So it visits D first, then after that it visits E, then after that it visits F, and then after finally it visits G. And for example, if G is your goal node, that means it visits all of the other nodes. and if suppose if the goal node is E, okay, then it won't visit these two nodes. So using this technique we are implementing here a function here for BFS. So BFS actually is a problem to solve, a method to solve a problem. So here we are implementing BFS technique. So here we are implementing a function, so which returns either a solution or a failure. Why I am using failure? Because for example, if a node is there H, if the H node is not available here, after even visiting to the last node, if you won't find this node H, what happens? That it means it returns a failure. But if you find E or else G or any other node which is the goal node, then it returns success. So that's why it returns either a solution or else you can call as success or failure. Now the node, what is the node here? The node means with a state. Okay, what is that with state? That means here what happens here is this A, B, C are actually the nodes, right? But these are actually the states. And here A is what? Your initial state. What is A here? Initial state. And if you are taking E as the final node, that means this is what? Your goal node. Okay, or else if you take this one also, it can be a goal node. Okay, so here the initial state, the path cost will be 0. Anyhow we are not concentrating on this path cost because we are implementing uninformed search. So we will not be concentrating on much more on that, but we will be concentrating that how it moves from one state to the another state. So if the problem, if you are is to check the goal state, okay, if the goal test, what it returns solution, okay, that means if it what happens, goal test will give you two values. Okay, if for example goal test is what? To verify whether you have reached to the goal node or not. If you have reached to the goal node, that means it returns success. And if you haven't reached to the goal node, then it returns failure. So that's why here it will obeys in a two way. Either you can reach to the solution, I mean to the goal state, or else you haven't reached to the goal state. So here we are using FIFO. What we are using? Frontier means the values which are about to visit are called as frontiers. Here FIFO, by all these values will be taken into FIFO. Okay, that is a queue will be there which obeys a procedure of first in first out. Initially the explode set will be in an empty set. Okay, now initially if I have taken, there is explode set is empty, but as soon as you visit A, then explode set will be updated as A here, and initially the frontier will be A. That means if I'll take Q here, now the first value which will be taken as here as A here. Okay, then what happens? As soon as you have visited A and you are explode, so it will be removed from the queue. Now what is the second value for the second time? What are the two nodes B and C? So first it visits to B, so that's why first in and first out. That's why it is first out, because after visiting B and C, so this is about explode set. That means which will be removed now? B will be removed here. Now in this case what happens is that if I'll take FIFO, then what are the available nodes? C, nodes means states here, okay, D and E. So which is the first I have taken? C. So that's why now after this, what the as it is explode, that means this C will be removed. Now in this diagram, what are the, how the queue will be there? The queue will be contains D, E and F and G. So first it visits to D, then it visits to E. As soon as it reaches to E, what happens, as if for example if it is a goal state, then it stops over there, but it removes all of the other values so that it becomes empty. Okay, once it becomes empty, there will be no further values it holds. So in that way, what happens, pop means here removing the values. Okay, and if it is empty, for example, if this frontier will becomes empty, when it becomes empty, for example, as soon as if you reach to E, this is your goal state, right? So you are reaches to E. So now what are the remained values? F and G. So again, this for F and G, it repeats for 2 times. After, for every time, first time F will be removed, second time G will be removed. Finally, this Q becomes empty. When Q becomes empty, okay, for example, if I am taking here, the goal node is H. Let us assume the goal node is H. Okay. Now what happens? It visits to D, then it visits to E. Okay. Then it checks for F, then it checks for G. But after that, if there is no further nodes are available, but we haven't completed the goal node H, now it becomes empty and there are no further nodes to be taken. So it means it returns a failure. So that's why it returns failure, this line. Okay, and for each action, what you have to do, you have to take that means the child will be decided based on the node and based on the action. Okay, so that thing we have to consider here. And if the child dot state is not in explode or frontier, then what happens? If it is not in explode means if it is like that means if it is about to explore but it is not also in front. So like here I am taken an example. In this one, if E is what? Here E, if E is the goal state, if E is the goal state, okay, and F and G are what? The nodes which are not required to use. Okay, so that thing what happens? If in that case, again there is another case that if problem dot goal test, that means goal test, if you have reached to that goal test, then it returns solution. Okay, or else if you haven't reached to the solution, still it performs this procedure. What is this procedure? Insert operation. That means, for example, this is how the middle case in this one. Now if you see here CD is there. After removing C, again I am inserting F and G here, right? Okay, why? Because till now I haven't got the goal state. So that's why frontier will be updated with this step. So in this way the BFS works. Okay, so just don't get confused. What we have to see here is, whenever if you want to frame a function, we have to list out all of the possible cases. So that's why the first if case we have taken here. So this if case will tell that if you are returning to the goal state, that means you are getting the solution. Okay, and this function will either give you a solution or a failure. And there is a loop which repeats for multiple time to check whether the frontier is empty or not. If it is empty, and even if you have not got the desired value, I mean you have not got the goal state, then it returns failure. But if that is not the case, then you have to perform this part. So in this way the BFS works. So that's why the BFS property, the first thing is it will give you a complete solution only when if B means the branching factor. For example, for A, what is the B value? 2, because how many nodes are there? 2. So the B value will be 2. And for this B, again 2 is there. So branching factor means the number of nodes. That means here it should be less than infinity. It should be less than infinity means the branching factor should be in finite state. Even the depth of the tree should be in finite state. It should not be equal to infinity. It should be less than infinity. That means B and D, if they are in finite numbers, then you can achieve completeness through BFS. Next thing is about optimality. Optimality only achieves if the graph is unweighted. Why? Because the graph or a tree, wherever you are taking, we can apply BFS on a tree or a graph. So unweighted means here, as I said, that this is a blind search. This category is of blind search or uninformed search. That means there won't be any information on the cost. That's why unweighted means there is no weight, that means there is no cost provided in the graph. So for that, such kind of graphs only it is optimal. If it is weighted, it won't be optimal. For weighted graph, you have to prefer for which kind of search mechanism? Informed search or heuristic search. Now if you go to the next is time complexity. So as you know that this is how a level by level it works, right? So the time complexity means for the first level it is 1, for the second level it is b square, and for the third level it is for the first level it is b, then for the second level, for the third level is b square. You can see 1, 2 and again 4, right? So 1 plus b square, so on up to, depends on the depth of the BFS. Okay, that's why you are taking b to the power of d. But why I am taking here d plus 1? Why? Because here when I am taking d plus 1, see here the exploring of the nodes and visiting the nodes is different one. So here D stands for exploring the nodes. D stands for until it is explored, but you have to visit the node also. That's why you are adding plus 1 node again. That's why you are reaching D plus 1. Okay. So D plus 1 and minus B means, again what happens here is the part of the node. Plus 1 means here this minus b stands for the value of the last value, in which here it will consider, like here this I said d stands for the explored set, and plus 1 indicates what? The possible outcomes. So as we are concentrating, that's why I am taking d plus 1, but minus b, because we should not concentrate fully, that's why we taken as minus b here. So if you club all of these things, you will get as order of b to the power of d plus 1 as a time complexity. Remember the BFS what I am using in AI. So based on this AI, this time complexity will be there. In general, the time complexity will be different for BFS, but this is with respect to the concept which I am implementing through AI. So that's why this amount, the same time and also the same amount of space is also required by BFS, that is order of b to the power of d plus 1. Okay. So in this way the memory and the time complexity will be calculated. Now next is about DFS. So DFS is something last in first out queue, right? And depth first search. So depth first search means it will concentrate to the depth of the tree. Okay. So now we need to see that how you can proceed to DFS. So if you see this one, initially you have visited to A, right? Now I am exploring A. When I am exploring A, I will get B and C. So this is, it becomes an explode set, and this is in frontiers B and C. But in order to go to the depth of the B, I have to visit these two things. That is, I have to visit D and I have to visit E. So I am again visiting to D. Again, in order to visit depth, I have to visit the child of D. That's why I am visiting H and I. After visiting the child H, as there are no further nodes, that means again I have to visit to I here. The depth again I have to see. Now there is no further child of what? D here. So again we have to see the child of B, which is another child is E. Now after that, again if I go to E, again I have to visit the child of J. That means the path will be A, B, what is that, E, J. Again after that K will be there. As there is no child of E further, so what happens? So B, now it goes to the right hand side, right subtree. So it goes to C, then again from C, so on, again the same process will also perform at the right subtree. So in this way the DFS works. That means every time it focuses on to the depth of the tree reaching to the leaf node. So here H is your leaf node. As there is no further nodes are expanded, again it backtracks. Again it backtracks and it checks for the any other further nodes. So it goes to I. So in this way DFS works. Okay. So that's why if you see DFS mostly in games, whenever in order to build an application on games, we have to go on DFS only, not BFS. Okay. So that's why the DFS are important, but BFS also important. In some factor BFS are important, and in some factor DFS are also important. But basically this DFS or BFS are uninformed search. Now if you go with the completeness, what happens here is, it is not complete. Why? Because for example, if the loop is infinite loop, or the depth what you are visiting there, if it is infinite depth, because if the state space tree is more, then if it is infinite depth, you will not be in a position to complete the path. That's why completeness won't be attained. And the same thing even applies for optimality. As you won't get complete, then you won't have an optimal solution. The time complexity here is, as it is order of b to the power of m, where b represents for branching factor, m represents for the depth, which is maximum in number. For example, if you take this tree, if you perform through DFS, okay, if you perform through DFS, okay, so what you are doing is you are going depth till 4, but you have to reach to 5 only, but you are reaching to the depth, and after that you might be reaching to 5. So that's why it is not optimal in nature. Okay, and that's why the memory complexity will also be in this manner. Memory complexity means here the space complexity. Okay. So if you compare DFS and BFS, BFS are compared to DFS are better one. But again I said, at some instance, at some application, BFS will not required, whereas DFS will be required. Okay, DFS are required while building an application of AI based games. Okay, also DFS can also be required in the DFS procedure can also be required in this one, depth, what is that, IDA star algorithm. This is iterative deepening at A star algorithm. So in that also it uses the DFS in iterative manner. Okay. So this is about DFS and BFS. So this completes today's class.